Hi friend shells, welcome back to my channel, Life in a Conch Shell. So today we're actually going to talk about mangas. So we're in March, so we're going to talk about mangas in March. And so today I'm going to talk about two mangas, and the first one is going to be Sword Art Online, and the second one is Terra Formars. And so, for some of you, maybe you don't know exactly what mangas are. They're typically originated in Japan, and they're basically comics or graphic novels. They're typically in black and white, and they read from right to left instead of how we read, which is left to right. In Japan, they read from right to left. And so there are about maybe 5 different categories or types, I guess you could say, of different mangas. They're not all like categorized by this or something, but basically there's 5 different types. So the first one is, and I don't have it right now, but it is shown, and I'm probably going to pronounce all these wrong, but it's called Shonen, and they are typically for like tween and teenage boys. So big ones are Attack on the Titans or Attack on Titan or Dragon Ball. So another one is Shojo, and Shojo is usually for like say tween and teenage girls. So a huge one is Sailor Moon. And the next one is Seinen, and Seinen is for basically like adult males over 18. So a huge one is called Vagabond, and I have that one. I don't have it with me, but it's like, first of all, it's like that thick, and it's a really good one. And there's like, I don't know how many volumes there are. And then the fourth one is Josei, and Josei is for like females over the age of 18. And a really big one is called Loveless. And the fifth one is called, I have to look at this, it's called Kodomomuke, and that is typically for children. A really huge one is Pokemon. So there are 5 categories, 4 or 5 categories. They're not all based on this, but it's kind of like to give you like a sense of like what you're about to read. So it could be about romance, emotions, coming of age, violence, foul language, things like that. And so it kind of gives you a little bit of like, oh, okay, this is what it is. Some manga companies also put in like a rating system. So like, okay, so like Sword Art on the back, not all of them have it, but like on the back they'll put T for teens. They have A for all, or of course Terra Formars. Not only do they have the where is it, explicit content, which there is, on the back it's for mature. So again, you kind of know what you're getting into. So the first time that I actually found out about mangas, or like I knew about mangas, but like was like, how did I not know this huge world of mangas, was a few years ago. I had gone to Japan and we went to Kyoto, and they have the Kyoto International Manga Museum. You have to go. It is absolutely amazing, and probably not a great idea that I went because I just buy mangas all the time now, and it was just such an amazing museum. And not only did they have probably every single manga you can think of, but they had like a bunch of like expos of different pictures and illustrators, and it was just absolutely amazing. So basically that's kind of where my passion started, and so go to that. Alright, so the first one we're going to talk about is Sword Art Online. And so this is actually volume 1 and 2 put together. So this is what the first one is called, and you can see it's thicker because it is volumes 1 and 2. When they translated this into English, which was about 6 or 7 years ago, some of them did come into one volume, the first 2 volumes into one. Why is it so confusing? Because there are probably like 10 different titles or so of Sword Art, like different levels, different stages of the game, which I'll talk about, and they all have their own kind of different volumes under that. So there's like this is the first one, which is actually 2 volumes like I said, but it's in this manga it's in one book. There's Fairy Dance, which is I think 3 volumes. There's Girl Ops, which is, I think they just came out with another one, so now I think there's 7 volumes. There's an anime series you can find on Netflix. There's films, there's games, there's just a whole plethora of different things with this. And that's another thing, when you find out like about a really good manga, be careful, because it's completely going down a rabbit hole, because there's so much like a really big ones like Sword Art, or even like Sailor Moon, things like that. They have video games, they have films, they have anime, like there's just so much that you could just like stay on that one manga for so long. And then so oh, another thing is that it is a manga series, but there's also a light novel series as well. Alright, so it's set in 2022, which is only 1 year away, and it is basically a virtual reality multiplayer role-playing game. And they use this technology called nerve gear, and the nerve gear is basically a player puts on this helmet, it connects to all 5 of their senses, and they basically are being able to control their character through their mind. And so they release this game into the world, and it starts off with 10,000 players, and everyone's all hyped and ready to go, and everyone's excited. And then you start to realize you can't log out of the game, so everyone starts to freak out. And then the creator comes to them and says, hey guys, yeah, this isn't a game anymore, you have to beat all 100 floors and then you'll be free. And the major catch is, if you die in the game, you die in real life. So that's how it starts. And we follow our main character called Kirito, and soon he follows with Asuna, and we follow them through the game and each level and what happens during that. And so to me, I thought it was a really great manga, especially it was my first manga that I had ever read, so it was really exciting. A little disturbing. I don't think if you think about it, like you go into this virtual reality game and you can't log out, I don't know, I don't think I'll be logging into any virtual reality game anytime soon. So that was the first book, and I do have, hold on, because it was so good, I decided to buy the next like title of, or the next kind of level of Sword Art. So this is, can you see it? I'll just show it one by one. The next one is called Fairy Dance. So this is volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. So that is the next, I guess you can say level, not level, but like the next part of Sword Art Online. And I did want to show you too. So this, like I said, the majority of it is all in black and white. I don't want to give anything away, right? But sometimes at the beginning they do put some colored in. I think that was it. And then they kind of give you like the chapters as well. So that was Sword Art Online. Okay, so the next manga that we're going to talk about is Terra Formars. This one was so good. I really enjoyed it. So this was also translated into English. It has about, I think they just finished the last one, which is about 22 manga in the series. They also have an animated TV series. They have video games, light novels. They also actually have a film that came out in 2016. When I was doing my research on like how many mangas there were in the series and all this stuff, I couldn't believe it. So of course I downloaded it right away. I found it on Apple. I think it was $1 to rent and like $3 to buy. So I bought it. And I thought it was awesome. It was exactly like the manga. The characters looked exactly like the characters in the manga. I mean, of course it wasn't like, oh, this huge blockbuster, they spent like $50 billion on it or anything, but it was so good because it was like exactly like the manga. I think there's like, you know, little things here and there that were similar in a way, but overall it was a really awesome movie. So, okay, so let's talk about Terra Formars. So Terra Formars is about these 21st century scientists who decide that they want to colonize Mars and terraform the planet. They seed the planet with this modified algae, and it's basically supposed to absorb the sunlight and purify the atmosphere. And they also leave cockroaches on the planet to basically spread the algae by them feeding and dying off. And so this has been going on for 500 years, and they decide to send up their first mission. And all we know about the first mission is that they have arrived and apparently everyone dies. So the first manga takes place 2 years later when they send up the second mission. The second mission is their task of collecting samples and basically exterminating all the cockroaches. And we soon find out what has actually happened on the planet, or I should say what evolved on the planet. And we also find out that the crew has been genetically modified to basically survive. So the book starts off on what happens when they get there. Again, this was a really great manga, very action-packed and exciting. And I'll just say one thing though, the first chapter you really get a sense of how this series is gonna go. And I think it was probably in the first chapter, maybe the first few pages of, so something happens, I'm not gonna say what, but it's like you turn the page and something happens and my eyes felt like they were gonna pop out of its sockets. I kind of just like sat there and stared at the page like, did that just happen? It was crazy, but it's really, really good series. I did want to show you. Let's see if I can, without giving away stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really awesome. Let me see if I can show you, because I mean, you flip through the book and you're gonna see the cockroaches, but it's just so cool. So, Terra Formars, book 1, and yes, I bought 2 and 3. So this, I think this one, yeah, this one's number 2, and that's number 3. Such a good series. So that's it. So I decided to just do these 2, and in my next video I'm going to do Sailor Moon and Magic Knight Ray Earth. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. Comment below if you've actually read these mangas. I thought they were really awesome. Also, have you actually read the light novels? Did you watch the films? Did you watch the TV series of these? Don't forget too, the Terra Formars film, which came out in 2016, is a live action. Most of them are all, you know, anime movies, but this one was actually live action, which I thought was even cooler because it kind of like looked like a manga but live action. So okay guys, well I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.